Listen, it's exciting to be out here. Anytime you're at a Tea Party movement anywhere in this country, it's exciting. And it's no less so here at Wings tonight. Thank you. And thank you all, and thank you, Will, for that very kind introduction. I apologize for being late. If some of you didn't know I was, I am. But we circled 45 minutes running around the Keys and all because of weather in Central Florida. I came from Tallahassee today. And what Will's saying about needing experience and not wanting a rookie, meaning you don't want somebody to have on-the-job training, is never more apparent than it's been to me the last few days dealing with this oil spill. That's what I was there about today. Why I was in Tallahassee was once again dealing with it. The president may have been in Pensacola, but some of us, former Attorney General Smith, former Attorney General Butterworth, myself, DPA Secretary Soule, others, the whole cast, were in the bowels of the Capitol today working on the tough issues of slugging it out. How do we prepare our claim for the state of Florida, our many claims against BP? And what are we going to do about this administration being so slow? I'll tell you what. President Obama was on the tube as I drove up tonight. You all are out here. It's a much better deal than listening to him. but in all seriousness, I don't know if any of you saw me on Greta's show last night, but I will tell you, I've been frustrated. I'm angry like you are about a lot of things in government today. I've been angry for a long time, and I get angrier every time I think about what goes on in Washington. But right now, what's personal about this, personal in the sense of Florida, my state, my family, your family, is what they've failed to do with regard to this oil spill. BP's responsible, no doubt about it. They're going to pay for everything out there. We're going to hold them to it. But the federal government has not done its job either. They've been way too slow. I flew over the Gulf a week ago, a week ago yesterday. And I looked down, actually it was a week ago Thursday. It's longer ago than that. In a Black Hawk helicopter, I saw no skimming boats, no vessels, no nothing off the coast of Pensacola. Came back to the press conference, talked about that at the emergency center in Pensacola, about the fact we didn't have any, and found out, of course, the next day that Admiral Allen said, we're ordering some. We're going to get some. There'll be 20 of them. It'll take 2 weeks to get here. They put 3 or 4 of them. They moved over from Louisiana. We've got oil coming our way. The sheen's there. It's going on the beaches. We don't have the vessels. There are over 300 of them somewhere around this country. Why aren't there more of them there? I learned this past week, the Jones Act. I didn't know. I've remembered it from my days in Congress a little bit. The Jones Act says you can't have a foreign flag vessel in an American port and do offloading and stuff like that. Admiral Allen, the Coast Guard, says, hey, we can't get these big skimming vessels here that are foreign flagged. Well, why hasn't the president waived the Jones Act? He has the power to do that. Why hasn't he done that? And then I learned there's new technology we could possibly have. There's a lot of it out there. There's stuff, a polypropylene sheet that a company makes that will pick up oil just like a magnet. You can put the sheet off the back of these vessels. They can pick up the oil out there, and we can multiply what we do, but nobody's even entertained doing that. And they won't right now. I've asked for it. I've asked for it again and again, and my face is blue. They don't even have anybody who's designated with authority to make decisions from the Coast Guard or the federal government in any county in our state tonight as we speak. So it's a mess. It's a mess, and I'm upset. But I'm also upset about a couple other things. Let me tell you what else I'm upset about. Look, this state of ours needs strong leadership right now. We need it not just because we're going to have to deal with the aftermath of an oil spill. We're a state of 18 million people. We got 1.1 million people unemployed today. We're going to grow to be 20 and 25 and 30 million people. Ingrid and I have been married 38 years. We have 3 sons. We have 2 grandsons. We're about to have a 3rd grandchild. I think it's a granddaughter. And we're excited about that. But this election's about them. And we need the kind of leadership that can deal with how do we grow jobs? How do we transform our state so the future is good for our state? What are we going to do about that? What are we going to do about luring jobs? We've got a lot of problems that I don't have time to spend a lot of detail with you tonight. And you go on the BillMcCollum.com website and find out about it. But right when we're having all these problems in our state from the economy that are greater than other states have, you'd think the federal government would at least be getting out of the way. And instead, what we have in this administration is exactly the opposite thing. Now, I'm not running for Congress. I've done that. I've been there. I'm running to be your next governor. But I'm going to tell you they'd make it a whole lot easier up there if instead of thinking so much about how they can grow government, they thought about how much more they could grow private sector jobs. And if I were there today, I'd be reducing the size and scope of the federal government. I'd be cutting the capital gains tax, not increasing it. I'd be reducing the corporate tax rate so we could sell our products abroad and create jobs, and I'd be reducing the regulatory burden on small businesses and getting rid of the unfunded mandates, and they're doing just the opposite. And that's what we really need up there. So I hope you're with me on that. And that's the way I felt when I was there. I'm a Ronald Reagan conservative Republican. And I will tell you what, if we're looking at the unfunded mandates and the regulations, there's nothing worse than the big health care bill that was mentioned earlier. I absolutely know you understand that like I do. And I understand that's the biggest commanding and commandeering of state assets ever, the biggest takeover, the worst thing that could happen to us. It strangles personal freedom and individual liberty and the things our Constitution stands for. There is no enumerated power in the Constitution anywhere giving the federal government the right to say to you or me that we have to buy a product, an insurance contract, if you will, on our health care. There is no provision allowing for that. And because of that, and the fact that 27% of our state budget is already going to Medicaid, 27%. And they're saying they're going to add, without asking us, millions of more people to the rolls in Florida alone that's going to cost us and will take away from what we would do with children and families, with the responsibility for schools in our state, with spending for prisons and all the other things the state has to do. 19 other attorneys generals and governors joined me in a lawsuit that you know we filed to declare this law unconstitutional in the Northern District of Florida, and we're going to win that lawsuit. We're going to win that lawsuit. It's going to go to the... Tomorrow they file a motion to dismiss. We already have a pretty good idea what's in it, and we're going to win. We got to argue it in September. And then it's going to go through a couple of hearings. It'll be a year, maybe 2 years. It's going to the United States Supreme Court. We're right on this. It's a violation of the 10th Amendment. In order to commandeer those assets, it's wrong. There's case law on it. I don't care what the critics say. We know we're right. We've got the best right on our side. Now, back to Florida just briefly. Let me tell you what we need to do to create jobs in our state, to lure industry here. We've been dependent on agriculture and travel and tourism too long. But as your governor, I will market them. I want to fill every hotel room, and I want to fill every restaurant chair like right here, and I possibly can. We need that industry to be strong. And I grew up in a cattle ranch. I understand agriculture. I understand tomatoes. I understand nursery industry. I understand the importance that agriculture has to be there. And as your next governor, I will market agriculture. I'll make sure the research is there. We're going to have that industry strong. But we need to diversify. We need more high-tech, biotech, aerospace jobs. We need to go get them. We got to quit letting Texas and Mississippi clean our clocks and getting jobs and headquarters and production facilities there. And the way we do that is real straightforward. We keep taxes low, and you look up and see not only keeping them low, I propose we cut the corporate income tax rate in Florida by a percentage. I propose that we give a 10-year moratorium on corporate income taxes in our state to those kinds of special businesses in high-tech, biotech, and aerospace that we want to lure here. And I propose that we give a permanent sales tax exemption for certain high-tech equipment that we know those industries need, we want to come here, and for building out fiber optic out into the rural areas so we'll have an opportunity for the rural areas to get the businesses that we need in the future. Those are the kind of tax relief that we need, plus we need to have common sense regulations. Florida is one of the most overregulated states in the United States. We need to cut those regulations. We need to have a one-stop shop when you go there and you want to apply for a new business or you want to get a business started, you want to come here. We got to make those changes.